keep going, goddammit. What it do? Wow.
Truth Aerospace Jr.
There's a big left hand.
Gervonta Davis.
Shout out to the almighty LBBC, the Lions Den Boston community. If you didn't know, now you know. All right, y'all. What's going on, everybody in the building? I appreciate y'all coming right back out like from last night. What's going on with UKO? What's good with you?
Oh man, I'm chilling. How you doing, man? Salute to everybody in the building. Y'all hit the like button and let's get this thing started, man. We got a lot to talk about.
Man, yes, sir. I mean, and one thing about it that I touched on last night before I get to roll call, I mean, we are getting the fights. And now I don't know what anyone talking about Showtime and PBC, because we're getting a lot of fights coming down the pipe right now. I mean, we got a 5-show next week. We're talking about Brandon Figueroa. We're talking about Messiah next week. I mean, that's great fight. I mean, look, the Tank Davis fight has been made. I mean, that has officially been announced. So I mean, I don't know what's going on, baby. But and don't forget, if you're not a channel member, you might want to become one. March the 1st is Wednesday. And yes, if you want to get a paid per view and get into that giveaway, then make sure you get ready and subscribe to be a channel member. So let's see all in the building, y'all. All right. We got CMB 100. What's going on with you? All right. We got Bustow. It's up in here. Welcome to the channel, my man. We got Marcus up in here. We got Thrill Hill from Blueberry Hill is up in here. We got Manamusa LLC. Yes, sir. Changing your name got me tongue twisted. All right, what's going on? Flawless Mentality. Another Chicago brother from the South Shore area, baby. That's right. All right, we got Byron Bradley. What's going on, baby? And like I say, welcome to the channel last night. All right. And we got about 40 to go before we hit 6,000. All right. Yes, sir. All right. Who else we got in here? CB3. What's good with you, CB3? And what's going on? Not me. It's up in here. What's going on, Mike? Mike Ram is up in here once again. Sean Clark is in here once again. Yes, sir. What's on, Greg Abernathy? What's going on with you, baby? All right. Salute to you. All right, we got my man, Little Rick from the south side of Houston, baby. What's going on, Rick? Salute to you, man, and welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Who else we got in here? That's about it. Yes, sir. That is about it so far. Make sure y'all hit the like button as y'all come in. All right, we got PLG Sky. It's up in here. All right. Knockout. What do you think about hell, the fights last night? I mean, the whole weekend.
Yeah, man. I thought the Saturday card was very entertaining. I like that they just gave us some quality fights. 3 of them to be exact, and then they got on out the way so you could go and enjoy the rest of your day. I talked to you about it right before the card started, that I prefer, a shorter card with better fights than a card with 18 fights on it. And then you only give me like 1 or 2 good fights, and I gotta wait all the way to the end to get those fights. Card be starting at like 7 o'clock at night, motherfucking on end to like 1:30 in
the. Yeah. Okay, he got kicked out, but that's all right. He come back. All right, but yeah, I did touch on that last night. If y'all remember, I did touch on that about how, especially the zone, they give us all lead cards before the bell and everything, and the main card, it don't start to that night. And, and that irritates me because, see, a lot of them cars are trash cars. All right, here we go. All right, so most of the cars, and what like I was saying, I said the same thing last night, and yes, it is true. I take 3 good cards before I get 20 bad cards, like from the zone. Then at night, then that's the card you've been waiting on. So yeah, you're right, knockout.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, my bad, man. I don't know what happened. I got kicked out. I was telling them too much real stuff. I don't know what y'all heard or what y'all didn't hear, but yeah. Long
Mhm.
story short, I enjoyed the card last night because they got in the way, they got out the way, and like I was telling you, man, that whole thing that these promotional companies do, where they give you 20 fights and 18 of them be trash and the last two be good, but the card started at 7 o'clock at night and you don't get to see the fight you want to see till 2 a.m. That's a
Mhm.
tough one right there, man. They started the card at 8 o'clock. It was over by like 10:45, 11 o'clock. But all three of the fights were really good fights, were really fun to watch, and they were good matchups that could have went either way. And I
Mhm.
like that, man. I enjoy that type of card much more than the long card. The only time I like the long ass cards is what Top Rank, where they have a lot of long cards, but they put a lot of really good prospects at the beginning of the card for you to look at, and then they get to their main fights, and the main fights be good too. The zone is the one that do that bullshit where all the
Yep.
first
Yep.
10 fights be trash and shit. You don't know who they are, and it's hard to follow. And that's coming from a diehard boxing fan like me. So I know it's hard for a casual to watch. So
Right.
yeah,
Yep.
man. I thought last night was a good night for boxing, man.
Mhm. Yes, sir. Welcome, Ken Williams. First time catching the show. I appreciate you coming in, man. Yes, sir. KQ, and that's Knockout. Okay, we be on his platform next Sunday, so we go back and forth. All right. So there you
Hmm.
go, and welcome to the channel. All right. Okay.
Yes,
Empress
sir.
Boss was good. Congo Man was good. All right. Yes, sir. So yeah, you're right. Because like I said, the zone is the one that does that a lot, and give us all the cards before the bill. And next thing you know, we waiting for the main card, which has maybe let's say Serrano on there as the co-main event, or let's see, we got the main event. Let's say Anthony Joshua or something like that, and those are the cards we waiting on. But do we have to sit there for 4 hours? Like I sat there for 5 hours on this own card, and trust me, and they app is not getting no better, and they had the nerve to go up on prices. So, but anyway, all right, let's get to it, man.
Yeah, man. Like just to reiterate that, like the zone got they got a fight card coming up with on. Let me see. I'm trying to find it real quick. I'll find it, but I was gonna give the people an example of that where they got a card up and then it's a bunch of people that you don't know, and then it's only one good fight on it. But I'll look at it in a minute, man. But yeah, let's start with the Elvis Rodriguez and Joseph Adorno fight. It was the first fight of the night. We got 3 fights to cover and a lot of stories to cover, so we're gonna be lit today. Y'all smash the like button, man, as you come in the building. But let's talk about Elvis Rodriguez and Joseph Adorno, man. Very good fight, competitive. Adorno boxed well at the beginning of the fight, but then Elvis
Mhm.
Rodriguez found the right hook that kind of
Mhm.
changed the whole complexion of the fight, man. What you got on that fight, the first fight of the evening, man?
Man, Elvis is in the building. Well, Elvis, I think first of all, he did a smart thing. He got with Freddie Roach. And Freddie Roach pretty much just fine tune some things of Elvis Rodriguez because he only has one loss on his record. He was there, but he wasn't there almost. Now, of course, he was missing a few fine tunings, and I think Freddie Roach helped him with that because I don't think he knew what type of style to fight. But the style he fought last night, that was a great style. He took his time. He didn't go in the first round and just try to go off and just trying to manhandle you and just throw all kind of punches. He took his time. He took his time and he wore hard guard, brought it back down, high guard, brought it back down, and then he was trying to go down to the body. Now, of course, he was get countered as he was going down to the body. But then again, that right hook. Now, when he saw that right hook, now I don't know did he find that right hook or did Freddie Roach say, hey, use your right hook as you throw the left and then throw the left, or use the right hook and then throw the left. I don't know. But the right hook was on point. Adern did not see that. He did not see that at all. So we talking about southpaw and orthodox. All right, you're going to get your feet tangled. You're going to get turned around a lot, and that was going on in the fight. Yeah, I saw Elvis Rodriguez pretty much saw that the right hook was working, and he started sitting down on that right hook, and he caught a Dern. He caught a Dern, and Dern went down. Then on Dern, like I said, he got back up. Now, one thing I can't say knockout, he got a beard. Adorno has because Rodriguez would hit him flush with straight right and straight lefts. And he was standing right there like, come on, let's go at the end of the round. So Rodriguez found a home for that right hand. And that right hand was on point. And Adorno pretty much took it. He took it well. Except for the first time when he got surprised. And like I say, those are the punches that knock you down. The ones that you don't see coming. He didn't see that right hand coming. And that knocked him down. But then he was getting hit with the right hand, but he knew that was coming and he saw it coming. And so he stood there, he took it, and he took the wheel and came back with a counter punch. And he went straight down to the stern. And that's how you fight a southpaw. You fight a southpaw with the straight right. And that's what Adorno was trying to do. But of course, Elvis had that right hand. Stick to what you're doing well. Why let it go? Why stop when it's working? So now, of course, Adorno is hurt, and we're in the last round. Now, I didn't like Rodriguez. Yes, you got two knockdowns. Great, but why go in there and take a risk and get knocked out? Because he was going for the knockout. He was going for the knockout when I would have said, you know what? I ain't knocked him out in the last two knockdowns, so I'm not gonna knock him out now. So I'm gonna play it safe. And that's what he did. He tried to get him in a knockdown, but he found out, hey, look, you know what? Let me just get this win and go home. And and I think he improved. I think the last fight, he looked better last night than his last fight. And that's a smart thing getting with Marvin and Freddie Roach. So I mean, congrats to Elvis Rodriguez. He's back in the running at the super lightweight division. So,
I agree. I agree with a lot of what you said. Joseph Adorno is one of these guys with a lot of talent. Could have been. I think he could have been much better than what he is. He's just not disciplined. He missed way more times. That's why he ended up getting dropped by Top Rank. And he's really just a 130 pounder that can't make weight and is very undisciplined because he had no business being up at 140 pounds fighting Elvis Rodriguez. Because if you just looked at him in the ring, Elvis Rodriguez was just so much bigger than him and so much stronger than him.
yeah.
But Adorno boxed well. Obviously, he was countering Elvis Rodriguez. He was doing good very early in the fight. And Elvis had a tough time figuring him out. And he was trying to get behind his jab and press forward. And he was pressing Adorno. But Adorno was clearly, like the first 3-4 rounds, he was landing a cleaner shot. But once Elvis found that right hook and started turning up on him, it was just clear that he was way stronger than Joseph Adorno, and Adorno would hit him with some good counter shots, but Elvis just kept pressing forward because he didn't respect the power of Adorno because, like you always say, there's weight classes for a reason. Now, I'll tell you this, it wasn't nothing Freddie Roach said that Elvis made that adjustment because Freddie Roach was doing his Freddie Roach thing, just telling him to let his hands go and be more aggressive and all that stuff. He ain't telling nothing about no right hook or no notions or nothing like that. So I will tell you that much. He wasn't
Okay,
doing,
I can turn it up. So yeah.
Yeah, he was doing typical Freddie Roach. Now the other guy in his corner was giving him some good instructions, but Freddie Roach wasn't really giving him. Yeah, Marvin was giving him good instructions, but Freddie Roach wasn't giving him too much of anything. All the at the end of the day though, I think Elvis Rodriguez could be a good 140 pounder. Maybe he can challenge for a world title one day, but he has to get behind his jab better, and he has to impose his size earlier. Like he should have been trying to be aggressive and impose his size on Adorno from the very opening bell, but he waited till like round 7, and that's when he caught him with that nasty right hook and to Adorno. That's why it's like it's confusing to me because somebody with that type of heart to stay on his feet, that type of beard, that type of mentality, you would think that they would be a hard worker leading up to the fight. You know what I mean? You would think that he wouldn't be so undisciplined and miss weight so many times and have to a weight class he don't belong in because he missed weight and stuff. But he's just one of these fighters that just like to fight. And it seemed like when the fight start, he ain't going nowhere. And that's a great quality to have. I just wish he would take his career more seriously. And I'm talking about Joseph Adorno. I wish he would take his career more seriously leading up, you know what I'm saying, leading up to the fight, because I think we could see the best of him. You could tell he got a lot of talent and that he can fight and he got a lot of heart in the ring. I just think the way that he prepares doesn't do him any justice. He goes with a different a different trainer damn near almost every fight. It seems like he's switching trainers, and so that can hurt you a lot in the fight. But I like that he fought with a lot of heart. And like you said at the end of the fight, Elvis Rodriguez was playing it safe. I mean, I'm cool with that. I ain't got no issue with that. But I like that he tries to turn on the gas as long as you're being defensively responsible. You know you hurt him real bad, so why not go for it and try to go make a statement as long as you're not stupid about it. So I'm cool with that. I ain't got no issue with it. I just wish my main thing is it took him 6 rounds to finally make the adjustment. I wish that he would have made the adjustment much earlier to show a higher ring IQ. But other than that, it was a good fight. It was very entertaining, and they opened up the card the right way. It started off slow. The crowd was booing them. It was
Right,
the
right.
first couple of rounds because wasn't nobody throwing a punch. Like they were talking about how they both landed one punch each in the first round. I was like, nah, y'all gonna have to
That's
do
what I
more.
talked about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all gonna have to do more than that. KQ just over here quiet. He can't even say shit because y'all ain't doing nothing. He hit him with a feint, then he fainted again. And now he's
Ain't it?
fainting.
Yep.
He's fainting again.
They measure. You know.
It is being a great fight, an entertaining fight. That ended up I'm kind of starting to show off right, and I appreciate you in that cash app, Skywalker, man. Appreciate you, Tim Muzay in the sky in the and I don't know if that's Tim Muzay. I don't know if y'all are the same person, so let me but I think that is you, Skywalker. But shout out to whoever
Yeah.
to Tim Muzay in that cash app, man. I appreciate you. And G5, I see you, bro. What's up? But that's all I got on the fight, man. I ain't got nothing else on that one. You got something else on the card? I want to ask you about the story that I read.
Yeah. Let me say this. Where do Elvis Rodriguez fit in at that weight class? I mean, how would you? I mean, can he get any better?
He can get better. He's young, he's strong, and he got power that you can't teach. Right now, I'd say top 15-ish. Top 15-ish, 140 pounder. Crack the top 10, but it's a lot of animals up there. It's a lot of animals up there. But when you got the type of power he got and just the skills that he got, you can be a player in there. I just with Freddie Roach, man, it's just a lot of his fighters seem like they got to do it on their own and shit. They don't be getting good instruction from him, and so that I just worry about like once he starts fighting at the top level and these guys are getting the proper instructions and how to adjust to him and what things they need to do to him, is he gonna just do the same thing over and over again and have to make adjustments on the fly? Because if you take 6 rounds to make an adjustment against these guys that you would have to fight to get a title or to position to win the title, if it take you 6 rounds to make an adjustment to them, well, yeah, it might either be knocked out or you might be down 6-0 and the fight pretty much over. So,
Right.
but I think he's a good fighter, a good talent. I'm glad that PBC picked him up after Top Rank dropped him. But we'll see. But as it currently stands, guys, they got titles. Like I mean, I don't think he can do nothing with Subriel Matias, who we'll talk about later, or Regis Prograis. Guys like that. So we gotta see. He's still young, so and he looked like he might be, and that's the problem for him too. OG, I know damn well he can't really do nothing at 107 pounds, and he looked like he could outgrow 140 at any minute. So it's like where do you fit in there? But I like him. Man.
Yeah, because he's big. I was looking at him like he's real big at the top there, and I almost think he's hitting the waist, but he's not that big, but he's big enough. So, all right, Brandon House, what's good? Felix Nunez, what's good? All right, Keno Loco Sports, what's good with you? All right, yes, sir. So,
all right,
yes, sir. So, okay, that's all I have on that.
All right, man. So, Derrick James, man. Derrick James came out. And he talked about Anthony Joshua. We know Anthony Joshua has a first. Derrick James is gonna be in his corner, and this is what Derrick James had to say. I see you, Connor. What up? Derrick James said, "Definitely looking forward to April. I feel the world hasn't seen the best of Anthony Joshua, especially with the guy I've been working with in the gym. I know that Jermaine Franklin is a very good fighter and taking it seriously." He says, "I think it's so much about being the fighter he wants to be and he needs to be. It's all about him. It's not about anybody else. It's about his legacy and him trying to improve on it. At the same time, it's us building and for him to be the best version of himself that night. The time we have, 3 months, is not a lot, but it depends on what level you're working on. We're working on a high level. Very intellectual fighter. He can do it. He's maintaining and understanding everything I'm asking him to do. What do you think of those comments from Coach Derrick James, man? He said we're gonna see the best of Anthony Joshua, that we ain't seen the best he got to offer yet, man. Derrick James said, I'm about to turn it around for him.
You
What you
know,
got on that, man? What you think about that, man?
well, you know, if anybody can do it, Derrick James could do it. But like I've been telling everyone, don't expect Anthony Joshua to get out there, especially with Jermaine Franklin. I'm not saying Jermaine Franklin this a level fighter, but it takes a while to get that chemistry, to get that program, and to get used to a new trainer. You're not going to come out there round in the first fight and look, totally different. He been under tutelage of McCracken since the amateurs, and it's hard to break that. It's hard to break that when you get with a new trainer. Yes, Derrick James said, yes, Jamel Charlo, he finished his program just like that. Yes, he said Frank Martin finished his program just like that. Everybody can't do that. Now, Anthony Joshua, yes, he is a big guy. Yes, he got some great attributes. But he's not gonna come out there and fight Jermaine Franklin in a new style, popping his jab and moving and doing this and that. No, it's not gonna happen overnight. Now, Derrick James is a great trainer. I mean, a damn good trainer. But he's not a heart surgeon. And that's what Anthony Joshua, he missing a heart. And that's what he needs. He needs a heart, and that will help him a lot. You know, and he needs to pretty much, because Derrick James is not too high on weights. And that's what he needs to get away from, the weights. And that way he don't have to carry all that muscle around, and it make him a little bit faster. And then he can let his jab flow a little easier. So that's how I see it. You know, I just can't see him coming out there being ill different Anthony Joshua. Ooh, wow, look at Anthony Joshua. Man, you know, no, I just can't see that. You know. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you out like this, man. With the lack of confidence that we've seen from Anthony Joshua in his recent fight since Ruiz did to him, with the lack of chin, the time he get hit flush, them legs get a little wobbly, and you know what I'm saying? You look at him like, damn, are you about to go down? The gas tank issues, looking like he dead dog tired after about 5 or 6 rounds. All those issues that Anthony Joshua had, if Derrick James finds a way to turn him around and make him world champion again, that'll be more impressive than anything he did with Earl Spencer, Jamel Charlo, or Frank Martin. That's how far gone Anthony Joshua seems to be in his career. If he somehow turns him around, bro, which I don't believe he will be able, just so I'm clear, if he's able to do that somehow, then it'll be more impressive than anything he's ever done with Earl Spence or anything he's ever done with Jamel Charlo, because of the amount of work that it's going to take to turn Anthony Joshua around. It's certain things that you have to you to be a fighter. Like that hunger, that heart, that mentality. Your coach should have to slow you down. Your coach should have to tell you, hey, man, you need to slow down a little bit. We're just doing drills today. Hey, man, you ain't supposed to be sparring 100% today, man. We're just working on something. Quit trying to kill the guy. Seems like, based on the way that Anthony Joshua's been fighting lately, he's the person that you have to try to, come on, man, pick it up. Come on, man, you got to work harder. Come on, man, you got to do like you. If that's where you at, bro, like you ain't no good to me as a fighter. You're not gonna reach your full potential. And the thing that the thing at heavyweight that you have to try to find a way to have to be successful, you gotta be able to take a big shot. You gotta be able to take a big shot, and you gotta be able to recover, because if you fight at heavyweight long enough, somebody gonna crack your ass and they gonna hurt you. How do you respond to being hurt? Do you tie up? Do you run away? Do you show heart and bite down on your gum shield and fight through it? The people to do that are the ones that end up being great heavyweights. I don't like Anthony Joshua. To me, he hasn't done that. He used to do that. Now, he used to do that. He did that against Klitschko. I saw him do that against Dillian White. But ever since Ruiz put him down like 3-4 times, it's been a whole different version of him. And that's when people say that, hey, man, like, he took something from him in the ring, or he's not the same since this fight, or he's not the same since that fight. That's what people mean by it, man. That's what they mean by it. What happened to him after Andy Ruiz? He lost something that night, and he been struggling to get it back. Now, the last part of this, I do want to give him credit though, because at least he's not staying with what he was staying with after all that shit happened to him. I see a man that's searching for answers. I see a man that's looking to try to become better. Oh shit, I can't figure this shit out. All right, let me go to Robert Garcia. Okay, that shit didn't work. All right, goddamn. Okay, let me go over here to Derrick James. So he's trying to figure it out. He's trying to get it back, but it's just sometimes once you lose it, it's hard to find. Sometimes fighters do find it, and those are the ones that you turn into a movie. Those are the ones that you write a book about it, and they're the reason that you go watch boxing and shit like that. You know what I mean? But more times than not, that's the exception. That's not the rule. Most times when you lose what Anthony Joshua lost, that's that heart, that's that grit, that's that hunger. Once you lose that, it's so hard to get it back. So we'll see. Right. We'll see. But Derrick James, to tie it up in both of y'all, he just saying what he supposed to say. He his trainer now, bro.
Right.
If he didn't believe that shit, he still ain't supposed to do that. He's still supposed to be like, yeah, he gonna do this, he gonna do that. He supposed to build confidence. You be a dumbass trainer, and you should get fired if he came out here and said, look, man, I don't know, like shit. He still ain't got no heart. He getting touched up in the gym, and he's not picking shit up. I'm really worried about whether or not we're gonna be able to do something with him. Like, you ain't gonna say that shit. That man paying you out his purse. He paying you a lot of money to train him and to speak positive about him. So I would just take Derrick James. I ain't saying he lost, but when someone is invested with someone, you have to take what they say with a grain of salt if they're doing their job properly, because they're supposed to be positive. Derrick James is supposed to talk highly of Anthony Joshua because that's his fighter, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? He ain't supposed to be like Bob Arum when he was talking shit about Terrence Crawford. He's supposed to be doing the opposite. So that's all I got on it, man. That's pretty much it for that one.
Yeah, most fighters, and Anthony Joshua, I will tip my hat off to him because he did get knocked down by Andy Ruiz. I mean, yes, he did recover back and got his win back and everything like that. But once you get knocked down, and once you get surprised with a knockout or knockdown, that takes a lot away from a fighter confidence. Then what they do, or the promoter does, they go put you in there with somebody that's way below your level. Why? To build your confidence back up. Now, I like what Derrick James is doing, where he's building it up inside the gym, not inside the ring. So, I mean, yes, he's fighting Jermaine Franklin, but that's not their picking. This is who he has to fight. So, I mean, now this is a good opponent to fight because Jermaine Franklin, he kind of like fight on the inside mostly. He's not going to be out there working a jab and everything, and that's good for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua never was an inside fighter anyway. So but that's all I got. And shout out to Phyllis Nuez in the super chat. He said, how will AJ therapeutic use exemption work in USA, in the US?
I don't know.
Use exemption work. Okay.
I guess he got some therapeutics that he take or something that he's talking about that he had exemptions for that might be on the ban list. So he's asking him how that work in the US. I think that's what he asked. I have no clue though. That's a damn good question. We have to look that up because I think there might be some shit that he's able to take that's not on the like if you a fighter and you got high blood pressure, you got shit off and you got high blood pressure or whatever, and that way they let you take your medicine. So when they test you, if you got that medicine in your system, you don't pop dirty. Maybe that's what he's talking about. I don't really know how that will work in the case of Anthony Joshua. And you hit on the key point before we move on. You hit on the key point that I think matters a lot. Most times when a fighter loses, they have to build their confidence back up because they put him in, they put him in to build his confidence back up. But in the case of Anthony Joshua, when he lost, both times he lost, he had to go right back in there with the dude he lost to. So that could be something that's really, really big, because you going like you lose to Usyk, time to build your confidence back up. You had to get right back in there with him. You lose to Ruiz, you ain't have time to build your confidence up. You got right back in the ring with him, and so maybe that did him dirty. Maybe,
Right.
maybe that did him dirty. So it is what it is with that, man. Let's get to the second fight though, man.
Okay.
Jamal James. Oh,
Okay.
go
Real
ahead.
fast. Shout out to my man Skywalker and the Cash App.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate you,
Appreciate
brother.
you.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I'm going to
All right.
Starbucks soon as we get off of here. I'll be at Starbucks, Skywalker, getting me one of them good drinks, man.
Okay. All
What was
right.
I? Oh yeah. So for the second fight, Palmetto versus Jamal James, man, he got done this time. He did his thing, and I got to give him credit because I did not think he'd be in that fight, but he won that fight, and he did it relatively clearly to me. But what you got on the Jamal James Alberto Palmetto fight, man?
Man. Well, Jamal James, I was on pins and needles while calling that fight. Why? Because I thought Jamal James would be the same Jamal James. But Jamal James came out there and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty, but he did have the reach. He did have the height, and he was landing his jab and his right hand going down to the stern, going right downstairs to the level left and right. And it wasn't pretty, like I said, because he was overshooting the right hand, and he was up close. He was getting up close, and he was overshooting it that time too. See, he had trouble finding his range at first. And then once he started finding his range, he started feeling a little better now. Because he started landing them shots. Now, of course, Palmetto, which is a Samson fighter, and he pretty much was coming forward. He's in the southpaw stance. And the reason why Jamal James was tripping and looked like he was unorthodox is because southpaw and orthodox always taking their feet up. Now, of course, Jamal James looked like he was breathing hard. I said, all right, here we go. The same Jamal James now. He about to run out of that petrol. All right, I guess it's the game plan. Take on deep waters and drown him. But he held on. He held on, and that what surprised me. He held on, and he pretty much think about it now. Jamal James is 34 years of age.
34, yeah, he 34, man, and he been extremely active his
Yes,
last couple of years. He got two. This is his second fight in 3 years. Second fight since 2019.
exactly. So and a lot of people in the chat were saying, well, he needs some weight on him, which he does, but he always was a thin man, and that's why he makes 147 because he's tall but he's thin, and the weight is like 147. He can make that easily, but he had the reach, he had the height, and he did a great job. But Palmetto, he did a great job too. He was getting under that jab, and then he started reaching upstairs and hitting him with the left and right. But James still held on. And I was surprised because he kept ducking. He was trying to roll with the punches like roll to get the head down, but he was getting hit at the same time.
Man.
Yeah, and he's not rolling right. Let's to be honest. He was rolling recklessly. Then when he come out of there, he stumbled and he left himself open. Now, if Palmetto had a reach, if he had a reach and he was more tools in his toolbox, I mean, I think he would have got knocked down or knocked out. He just wasn't quick on the trigger. Now, Jamal James was quick on his feet, but what got me was this knockout.
Mm-hmm.
You have the smaller fighter pushing the bigger fighter back. Why did Jamal James then stand his ground and push him back and push him against the ropes? All I saw was Jamal James going against the ropes. That's what I'm like. Why is this smaller fighter pushing this bigger fighter back? He should have used his jab and kept using it. Circle his jab. Circle, just keep on circling and circle away from that left hand and just keep on circling using your jab. You have to reach. You don't have to go inside. You can fight him on the outside. That fight, you made it harder than it could have been. It could have been easier, but he made it harder. But he's the hometown favorite. He put on a show, and then he came out with the victory. So but all well that end well, and so all that to say that he did come out with the victory. He did held up that gas tank, and a good showing.
Yeah, so first of the fight, and then you brought up a lot of interesting points about Jamal James that I bring up. I thought that he kept his activity up. I thought the Palmetto had issues breaking that distance because of the jab and the work rate of Jamal James mainly. But I thought Palmetto made a huge tactical mistake, and that's why when people talk to me about ring IQ, they always talk about like in ring adjustments and things like that. But ring IQ to me is like, how do you prep for the fight? Like to me, I found myself watching that fight. I'm like, bro, Palmetto, did you watch Jamal James's last fight against Butayev? Did you watch it? Because you're not doing what he did. Like Palmetto, if he would have went to the body instead of trying to hit Jamal James in the head the whole night and missing and overshooting his jab and smothering his shot,
Yeah.
you probably could have won that fight, bro. Because Jamal James was trying to do everything he could to give it to you. He was giving you a lot of unnecessary movement. He was getting tired in the fight. And for you to not go to the body, bro, like that shit was just, and you are a good body puncher when you go there, that shit was just a huge tactical error. So when people talk to me about ring IQ and I see simple game plans that you missed early in the fight that would have did so much to change the outcome of the fight, bro, I can't help but wonder what you and your corner was looking at. So Jamal James, though, he was able to use his jab. He was able to circle the ring, get out of trouble with his unorthodox style. And he was able to escape with the victory because he was the more active in his jab and his right hand and his combination punching. Palmetto was more concerned with trying to avoid shots on the way in instead of just jumping in on him. When you get close enough to him, jump in on him and go to the body, wrestle with him, be rough with him. Because to the other point you were making about Jamal James being the bigger fighter, now he just tall, bro. Like Jamal James, I never been high on him because he's so weak. He like physically weak and physically frail, and he always getting pushed around the ring. That's why he couldn't push Palmetto back, because he ain't got no strength to him. Like you said, 6'2", and he can make 147 pounds. Nah, bro, like that, like you way too small. And it's crazy how some people's bodies are different or their strength is different, because you can see Jamal James very skinny for his weight class and not a very physically strong fighter. But then you see Sebastian Fundora, again, very skinny for his weight class. He one weight class up, but he's strong in the motherfucker. And he keep coming at you and keep coming at you no matter what. And so it's just crazy that difference. But for me, Jamal James was able to escape with the victory. But I see a lot of the holes that you guys see in the chat and that you see, OG, which is why I thought Palmetto might be able to get him and get the upset. It's just when you get tired like that and you have to move so much because you don't have the strength to stand your ground, you can't really be shit at this level, specifically at a weight class like 147 pounds. Like when you look at the pressure fighters that are not even at the top of the weight class. I saw somebody put it in the chat. You think of a Jamal James versus that guy Cody Crowley, man. Like, you really think Cody Crowley, like Jamal James gonna keep Cody Crowley off of him? Like, I don't know. You damn sure don't want to see Jamal James and Stanionis or Virgil Ortiz, and the guy, Earl Spence would just, oh my God, destroy him. So I think he needs to be I don't know, man. I just think he's gonna be a journeyman, OG. They just gotta wait for another Minnesota, Minneapolis fight card, since that's where he's from. Put him on, and if you want him to win, put him in there with somebody like Palmetto. Or if you're trying to give his name to a young up and coming prospect, you put him in there with somebody that you think can beat him. But as far as him being champion again, because he was a secondary belt holder, he did hold the secondary title at 147 pounds. I don't know if he makes it back to that, man. I don't know if he makes it back to that. I think he just got too much of a disadvantage in the physical strength department. OG, even though he won rounds against Palmetto, he was tripping over his feet and fumbling and bumbling, and against the ropes, he just weak. OG, like I don't know what you say. You don't like. You say you don't like weights and shit, but he might be one of these fighters that could use weightlifting, man.
Yeah.
He might use or some push-ups or something. You know what I mean? He's just too weak to me, bro. But he got the job done against Palmetto, and we'll see what he does moving forward. But I just never been high on him, man. I've done 2 predictions now, got one right, got one wrong, but I've never picked him to win a fight, bro. It's just too many holes there. It's hard to pick Jamal James to win. I'm always worried about somebody just being too strong for him, bro. But he got the job done, and shout out to him, man, for a good performance. And we'll see what's next for him. But that's all I got on it, man. You got anything else on that fight?
Well, some people saying, he like a Monique Bowl. He used to play
Manute
basketball.
Ball, Sean Bradley and shit, man.
Right, yeah.
Paul getting pushed around and shit.
Right. And then they said, well, what about him and Fondura? Well, Fondura right now is at 154, but Fondura, is a little more advanced, a little stronger. And of course, James not going to stand right in front of him like Lubin did. But yes, he still would get hurt because
Fondura don't get tired like Jamal James do. You don't see him gasping for breaths and shit like Jamal James do.
Now, I want to ask you about that. And this has been Jamal James' career Achilles heel. He always, and someone asked me that in the chat, and I had no answer. Why he always run out of gas? What is the problem?
Because man, when you even if you win in the fight, number one, he always ends up having to take his back foot because he's so weak. You know what I mean? Guys can push him around the ring, and he knows he's with guys. So that's one thing that'll make you tired, always going backwards. The other thing is, look at how many, even though he won the fight, just look at how many punches he had to throw to keep Palmetto at bay. So you always on your back foot, and you got to throw a shit ton of punches just to try your best to keep somebody up off of you. But you can't really just sit down and fight with them. So those two things, no matter what type of shape you think you may be in, bro, you throwing 80 to 90 punches per round trying to keep people off of you, and you don't hit hard enough, so they still keep coming. So you still have to keep bagging up, and then you against the ropes. And then every time you get in a damn every time you get in a clinch with somebody, they manhandling your ass and shit. It just that's why it ain't that he don't work hard or he missing no road work or whatever. It's because of the fights are taxing for him. Like when you weak, fight is harder to fight. Like when you just physically weak and you got to do things and use certain tactics, you're gonna expend more energy. So he uses more energy than the person fighting all the time.
Yeah,
and so that's why, bro, because he always has to go backwards and he has to throw a shit ton of punches to keep you up off of him. So that's why he always looked tired after about five. Like Jamal James, he come out them first 5 rounds, you be like, yeah, okay, all right, but about round 6 or round 7, you gonna be like, God damn, bro, what's up, man? Like there it is, Jay Grant Jr. Yeah, he just ain't got no physicality to him, bro. He just, so that shit's draining, man. That shit make you tired when you weak, man. That shit make you tired. It's like when you, as a father, when you wrestle with your kid, with your son, you don't do it with your girls or whatever. When you and your son be roughhousing and shit, you be letting him know, like, hey, I'm that dude. Your son be dead dog tired trying to get out. He can't do nothing. He moving around shit. And you just be chilling because you're just so much stronger than him, bro. Like he can't use all his energy to try to fight back, but he just can't do nothing with you. And he be tired after about a minute or two, and you just be over there chilling, sitting on him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Reading the paper, drinking his coffee while you're sitting on him and just letting him know is and shit. That's Jamal James. He out there weak, man. He can't do nothing, bro. That's
I'm going to talk to your son. I'm going to talk to your son. You told that story too good right there. I want to talk to your son, man. You sitting on him and shit. I don't know. Shout out to Jeff, producer, the super chat, man. Yeah, he said OG and 86 salute. All right.
Salute, Jeff.
Producer.
Salute, Jeff, man. Appreciate you, bro. Y'all smash the like button. I know we can get up over 100 likes. Let me see what the likes are.
Smash the like button. We got 132 people in here. Yes, sir. Please smash the like button for the morning after show with KO and KQ, baby. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. All right. So they wrote an article, man, and Chris Mannix with his hating ass and Keith Idot with his hating ass. They were going back and forth, and they are pushing for the sanctioning bodies to strip Jamal Charlo and strip Earl Spence Jr. What a coincidence. They said what they had to say, man. Let me read this to you real quick. They said, this is Chris Mannix. Chris Mannix said, Jamal Charlo is supposedly coming back in June. It'll be 2 years off. Are you buying Charlo coming back at 160? What's the path? What's his path back to relevancy again? So that's his question. Keith Idex You can't allow these guys, whatever is going on in their personal lives or what's going on physically with their injuries, you cannot allow these guys to hold these titles hostage for years on end. Jamal Charlo hasn't fought in 2 years. When he does fight in June, it's going to be exactly 2 years since the previous time he fought. He did not look particularly great against Juan Miguel, who Carlos Adames later destroyed. Carlos Adames is the interim champion and mandatory for Charlo's title. He's certainly not going to fight Carlos Adames in June, and he might not want to fight Carlos Adames at all. If that's the case, he's well within his right to do that, but then vacate the title and move up or do whatever you want to do. Carlos Adames his opportunity to be the full champion because it's similar to what's going on with Earl Spence. Spence is holding these welterweight titles hostage. He couldn't figure out the Crawford fight. Okay, you tried. It seems pretty much now that it might not happen. He shouldn't be allowed to hold the IBF, WBA, and WBC titles and fight Keith Thurman at 154 pounds. That's ridiculous. That just shouldn't be. What do you think of those comments, man? What do you think about that shit, man?
First of all, it's a kind of hate comment. And first of all, who the hell are y'all? All that is opinionated. That's it. Now, of course, the WBC, they know about Jamal Charlo, the personal issues. So they gave him time. They gave him time to get together. And of course, he's coming back. He's fighting Selecki because he had a contract already. He had to fight him at 160. And then he moved into 168. Now, that's none of your damn business, okay? You just report what you hear or what you see. That's what you're supposed to do. Let the sanctioning bodies take care of that. Now, first, Earl Spence is doing what Earl Spence is doing. He is fighting who he has to fight. Now, they didn't put Keith Thurman up there to be his mandatory. I mean, he didn't put him up there. He don't even want to fight Keith Thurman. But they mandated that fight for him to fight. I mean, they put Keith Thurman up there as a mandatory. And of course, yes, Jamal Charlo should be fighting the best of the best. I like both the Charlos, you know that, but I'm not going to sit there in front for him. Yes, he should be in that fight. Matter of fact, he's back in the gym working out now. He's coming back and fight. But still in all, you have to get these fights. These fighters are only human. They're only human. But if you're going to choose to fight, if you choose going to be a fighter, yes, you need to pretty much say, hey, look, I'll be a champion in recess. How about that? Then when I'm ready, I can come back. But it's not up to them to make that decision. Now, yes, if I was a sanctioned body, I would say, look here, this is what I'm going to do. Because it's not fair to have these guys sitting up here waiting on your ass. All right? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you in recess. And then when you're ready to come back, then we have a fight, and, and you get your spot back, whatever. That's the way you do it. That's the way you handle it that way. But now we have Earl Spence, who is trying to be a undisputed champion. And, of course, Boots, Ennis, and the rest of the guys, they are not being forced, or Earl is not being forced to fight as mandatories. We know when you have a unification and you have your belts, we know everybody got a mandatory. But look what happened with Terrence Crawford. He been holding on to that damn belt, but he fought who? David Amnesia. We all knew what happened with that. But what about before then? Y'all ain't want saying shit then. But then again, he got a mandatory now. Now let's see how long it take him to fight him. But what I say is this, Earl Spence is doing what Earl Spence needs to do. Now I'm quite sure if it's ordered, if it's the sanctioned body's ordered or whatever, Earl Spence gonna have to follow the rules and drop the belt. There's no doubt about that. Now Jamal on Charlo for a long time, he hasn't had a mandatory, and now Adonis, if I'm saying the name right, I mean yes, he should be fighting him. But not next. He got to fight and take care of a fight that he already agreed to fight, and that's Selecki. Now, he's not no top fighter. I get that. But look, right is right. He agreed to fight him. You have to be responsible. You got to go ahead on and do and take care of your obligations. And then get him his shot. Because I think every manager should have a shot at the title. They shouldn't be sitting around waiting on you till you get yourself together or whatever. I don't do that. I mean, the whole thing is the best fight the best. I know, that's your fighter. You love him and this and that. And I love the Charlos, but right is right. Jamal, he went through that whole division. But he broke his hand and he was getting ready to take on Tim Zoo, who is a mandatory. But he broke his hand in the process. So, I mean, I'm quite sure he would have fought him. But Jamal,
Mm-hmm.
mentally, physically, or whatever's going on with him, listen, Jamal, look, you're gonna have to sit down. But we're not gonna do this. What we're gonna do is put you a champion in recess. All right. And then when of course you better or feel better, then come on back. That's what he should have done. That's what they should do. So but them two, I ain't gonna say mind your business because that's your job. But it's all opinionated by them, and there's nothing wrong with what they're saying. I mean, it is something wrong, but they have a right to their opinion because they are journalists, and that's what they do. Even
Yeah, yeah.
hating or not, that's what they do. Now they ain't saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying they right or wrong, but that's they right, and they have that right to speak on it. So
Man, they dead, especially Keith Idek, man. He dead fucking wrong. And after I get done saying what I'm saying, I bet you gonna agree with me, OG. So
okay,
the Jamal Charlo situation, that I made it clear. I actually agree with what he's saying. I think that Jamal Charlo, you either fight Carlos Adames, give him his opportunity, or if you don't want to and you need a tune up, go ahead and let them put you in recess, get your tune up, let Carlos Adames be the vacant or whatever you want to do. If they got to fight for it, if they're gonna elevate him, then when you ready, you get it. You got first, you get a shot right back at your title against Carlos Adames or whoever the champion is. So I agree with what he said right there. And before I get to the Earl Spence shit, this be my problem with these boxing journalists, and this be my problem with just boxing as a whole. They be trying to play me like I'm dumb, KQ, and like I don't remember what you said and kind of how you said it and the stances that you take. Keith Idek wrote an article saying Manny Pacquiao should have tossed the WBA belt in the trash where it belongs because he was so upset with the WBA for stripping Manny Pacquiao after 2 years of inactivity. And that's the shit I be talking about. So
what?
how come you want it? How come you want it back in 2021? See, this is why they can't mess with us, OG. And this is like us, and we spit so much truth and we remember shit. And I got it pulled up right now. Keith Idek, the same person that was saying Jamal Charlo should be stripped because of 2 years of inactivity, was in a outrage, was upset when Manny Pacquiao got stripped for 2 years of inactivity in 2021. What's so different about Manny, Keith? Manny was inactive for 2 years just like Charlo. But when Manny got stripped, he should have tossed the WBA belt in the trash where it belonged. And I quote, had Manny Pacquiao rejected the opportunity to win back the WBA Super Welterweight Championship, he never should have lost. The WBA wouldn't have positioned itself to collect $150,000 in sanctioning fees from his purse for fighting Ugas on Saturday night. Now, I ain't saying that y'all should do this right now, but I'm going to put this link in the chat for y'all so y'all can take a look at it after the show is over with. But this is the shit that I be talking about with these journalists, KQ. Like, so Jamal Charlo should get stripped. Manny Pacquiao, you that he got stripped. So you care about inactivity when it's Jamal Charlo, but you don't give a damn about inactivity when it's Manny Pacquiao? Bro, I don't understand that shit, man. Like, why the selective outrage? And this is why people bring up race and boxing. Oh, are you racist? Because other than that, what's the difference between the two? Didn't fight for over 2 years. Jamal Charlo, he had some personal issues. He had a back injury that he had to pull out of a fight for. Manny Pacquiao just didn't fight for 2 years because he didn't want to. Right. Because he Manny Pacquiao. I'm getting older. I'm going to take 2 years off. But you was mad that he got stripped. You was pissed off like, how could they strip the Manny Pacquiao? But then when Jamal Charlo get to keep his belt, how could they let Jamal Charlo keep his belt? Bro, that's 100% wrong, dog. And that's why I don't be fucking with these dudes when they be writing this shit and talking that shit. Because I remember what you say. I remember what you said on a similar situation. Like, Jamal Charlo ain't the first. Like, where was all this outrage to Murata? Y'all know Murata kept his belt for 2.5 years, and Keith Idek didn't say nothing. He shouldn't have got stripped. They didn't say nothing about him when he was going to the Triple G fight. They wasn't mad at all. It's just they pick and choose with the shit, man. They pick and choose with the shit, and that shit be driving me crazy. So I think while he might be right now, you the wrong person to say it because you don't never keep that same energy and you're not consistent at all. Your energy changes depending upon who the fighter is, bro. You don't hold all fighters to the same standard. That's some bullshit, man. That's some 100% bullshit, and I'm not on board with it at all. He should shut the hell up, keep his mouth shut, because you a biased ass. You have no play. You can't even call yourself like, and this is what we call a journalist in boxing, bro.
Wow.
These are the people that get like journalists and shit, and people like myself and KQKC. Oh, y'all just some YouTubers. Y'all just some YouTubers, but people look at you like a real journalist, and you can have this lack of integrity, and don't nobody call your ass out on it. Well, I'm gonna call you out on it because I remember the shit. I'm gonna call you out on it because I know how you be moving out here, bro. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Ain't nobody like, I don't want to hear that shit from him because you was all on Manny Pacquiao Johnson and shit, trying to take up for him when he got stripped for the same reason. But now when Jamal Charlo don't ain't got shit for him, but they need to strip his ass, man. Get all the way the fuck out of here, bro. I'm not buying none of that shit. Straight up, bro.
Right. Yeah. All right. Yes, sir. Ron Holman in the super chat. He says, salute to the gods, KQKC and KO Boxing. Super chat. I appreciate you, brother. All right. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. And we also we got my man Zulu Lion. He's in the super chat. He said, good morning, my good people, KO and OG. And we in here. Wow. Check. All right. Appreciate you. Zulu Lion.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
All right. Yes, sir. Yeah, so man, so I didn't know that he said that back then. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Now you picking and choosing who you want to pretty much show favoritism to. So therefore, Manny Pacquiao hold the belt as long as he want to, 2-3 years, whatever. This all good with you. But Jamal Charlo, he got to give his shit up. Right after what? How long he been inactive? What, 18, 23 months? Something?
Yeah, 2 years. It'll be 2 years in June. It ain't even been 2 years yet. It's been like 18 months.
Right. So, okay, I hear where you're coming from, man.
Yeah,
so,
man. And the Earl Spence shit, that's just laughable. Like, all he been fighting is mandatories and unifying for the past 3-4 he do fight. If you go look at his last few fights, like, why should he be stripped? So he unified with Sean Porter, then he fought his WBC mandatory and Danny Garcia, then he unified with Udinese Ugas. Like, I don't understand why he should be stripped when all he does is fight mandatories and unify, and he's not the one that pulled out of the fight with Terrence Crawford, pulled out of the fight with him and went to go fight somebody else. So why should he be stripped, bro? Like it's just, man, these dudes, they be funny.
Especially that Chris Mannix, especially him and he was on Demetrius Andrade, and Demetrius Andrade pretty much called him to the floor on his BS, which is rightfully so. So
100%.
Yeah,
100%, man. But let's get to the main event, man.
Let me shout out Upper Echelon in that Cash App. I appreciate you, my brother. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. I think he hit me too. Shout out to Upper Echelon in the Cash App. And for those y'all don't know, got a debate coming up on Wednesday night, man. He got a debate coming up on Wednesday night. Y'all be sure to tune in for that. We're gonna be lit, man.
Okay. Who's debating?
We lit. Tank Davis, he going up against Ben Israel, man. It's gonna be a good one.
Okay.
And then tomorrow night, man, BFTB, man. I know y'all all seen Terrence best videos. BFTB is gonna be getting in the ring, his best videos. That's gonna probably be must-see TV, and I'm just gonna leave it at that, man. I'll let y'all figure that out for yourself,
My man,
man.
Sean Clark. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said you got a super chat though. Go ahead.
Okay. Sean Clark. 100 KO. This is why we pull up and support brothers like you and the OGKQ. These journalists be loose with their credentials. Of course they do. Of course, yes. They think they have the inside.
If I got that's facts, bro. Like if I gotta push, and I know you do this too, OG. Like if I gotta push a certain narrative just to get credentials or get an interview and shit, man, I don't want it, bro.
Thank you.
I don't want it. Like the day that y'all see me get up in front of this mic and stop saying I really believe is the day I won't do this shit no more, man. Yeah, like
Exactly.
I'm not putting myself in a position to not be able to speak my mind, bro. Like I don't care what it's on. I'm gonna speak my mind. You can agree with it or disagree with it, but I'm gonna speak my mind. And the day I feel like that shit is what's the word I'm looking for? That I can't do that shit no more, or that shit can be called question, or
Mhm.
my integrity is gone, bro. I'm just not gonna do this shit no more.
Yeah.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. And that's the same thing. I really believe that Tim Bradley, Andre Ward, they still pushing that narrative, and ESPN, that Lopez was a undisputed champion. They still are pushing that. But do they have a choice? Look, y'all push this, or find another job. So I mean, come on, cause they've been boxers. They know what's undisputed and what's a unified champion. They know the damn difference.
Mhm.
But listen, are they being forced, or or they should do the right thing? Say, hey, look, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie for you all. I'm gonna tell the truth. No, they're not undisputed. So or they have to find a job. So no, your
Yeah,
integrity.
or they have to start their own channel from the ground up, and they don't have the
Right,
bagging of ESPN with a big, and top rank and shit. So they just
right,
say what they want them to say. When you know damn well that belt ain't in every weight class. How the hell you undisputed with a belt that got 3-4 years ago, bro? That
exactly.
shit, like I don't understand how people could just give away their manhood, their pride like that, bro. I'm not doing it. I don't give a damn. Like I
Real.
ain't right all the time. Shit. I get shit wrong sometimes, but shit, I'm gonna tell you what I really think, man. But so that's why I'm
Mhm.
at with all that shit, man. Keith Idek, all them journalists and shit. They
Yeah,
just they dancing for whoever want them to paint a certain narrative, they there for it. They'll paint whatever narrative that you want. I guarantee you, if Chris Mannix get fired from the zone and he get hired by PBC to do their shit, he gonna all of a sudden become the most pro PBC motherfucker you ever heard of, bro.
yep.
Or if he get hired by ESPN, he gonna be Mr. Top Rank running around there. They
Oh
don't
yeah.
like you don't like you never know. People might like the real you. They might like what you have to say if you actually just say what you really think instead of
Right.
just
Tell the
dancing for
truth.
all these
Yeah.
people and all that shit, bro. So man, I ain't buying what they say. That's why
I
when
mean,
people try to tell me what they say and shit, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like I ain't on that shit.
like one
I ain't
particular.
on that shit at all.
I'm not gonna call a name, but somebody thought they were gonna use my channel to promote a fighter and keep talking about this same fighter every day. I said, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to lie either. No, 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 no. I don't do that shit. Not over here. Then they
Hey
might do
KQ and KQ. Hey, damn it! I just don't feel like talking about him today. I want to
it.
talk about something else.
Right, right. I
Shit.
mean, damn. I mean, come on. Then sending me text
I just
messages.
don't want to talk about him today. I talked
No,
about him yesterday.
exactly. Come on. And I'm not gonna speak, high regard, like he don't do no wrong and he don't make no mistakes. And no, hell no, no, I don't do that. Well,
I want
anyway,
to. I want to talk about something else today. Damn it! There's some other news that I want to cover. I don't want to
right.
talk about him today.
That's right. So,
I
bro, what's
feel that
good with
shit, man.
you? Okay, we got
I feel that
155
shit.
in here. Let me see how many likes we got. All right, go on. Okay, we're going ahead on to the next one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna say like, hey, KO, man. I think your debate series, man. You should do this. You should do that. Hey, man. Hey, bro.
Oh yeah,
Go start your own shit, man. Stop trying to tell me what to do with my shit, man. Go start your own shit, bro. These people be funny, man. They try to tell you what to talk about, what to
exactly,
cover, what to
exactly.
say. Like, bro, go start your shit, and then you know what I'm saying. Go holler at me,
Uh,
bro. Get out of here with that bullshit. But let's
yes,
let's
sir.
get to the last fight, man. Subriel Matias, man, versus Ponce. Ponce came out like he was about to do something. But then it went downhill from there, brother. What you got on that, man? What you got on that?
Oh man, I mean, I would have to say that was the best start of the year. The best start of the year. No filling out round. No filling out round at all. It took him maybe about 3 seconds to get started. And he went and he did get started. I mean, Ponce went in there. Uh, 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 um, it went in there and he started throwing. I mean, with mean intentions. I'm talking about with everything that he had muscled up in his body. And I mean, he was going on to the left, right, then right behind the ear, the left, right ear, the left and right liver. I mean, he was going downstairs to the chest, and then he finished on top of the head. I mean, he went all the way around down the street, around the corner, and down to the park, and came up on top of the head. And now, like I told everybody, it's not illegal. It's illegal to do rabbit punches, but it's not illegal to hit on top of the head. But they don't do it because you can break your hand. That's the hardest part right there on top of the head. And that's why a lot of fighters don't do that. Hit you on top of the head. Oh, but Ponce did. Oh, Ponce did. And Ponce was fired up, boy. He was welling. And Batista, he was trying to get off, but he couldn't shoot his load because every time he dropped the guard, he couldn't throw because he getting hit. So he brought it right back up. And then, of course, once again, there go Ponce jumping right on him. Now, of course, they went at it again to the end of the round. Then Matias came back in the second round. He started looking a little bit better. He started getting his punches off. And then he started getting his punches off again. Now, he was focusing more on the body. He was focusing more on the body than headshots. But there go Ponce again, going to the head, going to the ear, going upstairs on top of the head once again, top of the head once again, left, right, and I'm talking about he had tripled with the left hand. I mean, he went to the head, he went to the arm, and he went to the liver, all on one side. And we talking about fast action. I mean, this is a fast-paced fight, and I'm gonna go back and watch it again because I enjoyed it, So then of course,
yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, then of course, and
you don't be in there calling the fight. Don't be in there calling the fight by yourself, man. You be practicing shit.
Man, and then, man, I mean,
I know OG be practicing for y'all, man. He watched the fights and calling her while he watching them by himself, man. He gonna be his neighbor gonna knock on the door and shit. Hey, you okay? You okay, KQ? Going off and shit, man. Go ahead.
Man, I mean, it was just, then I looked and a couple of people in the chat, Zena 360, he won, and good eye, because he saw what I saw. Ponce in the third round, you could see a change. You could see a change in his pace. And of course, those body shots that I was telling you about that Matisse was focusing on, they were starting to pay dividends. Ponce started slowing down. He still was throwing, don't get me wrong, but not at that pace. Not at that pace. He started slowing down. And then here come Matisse. He was shoe shining to the body. He was going to the left. He was going to the right. He was throwing everywhere on that body, besides behind the head. Maybe behind the head a couple times too, but still behind the ear. And then, of course, as rounds go on, he started declining. Now, I don't know what they saw, but I will tell you this. They've been watching some film on him because they know that this young man, when he hits you in the body, you're going to feel it. When he hit you in the body, Matisse, when he hit you in the body, you're going to feel it. Now, of course, he had other opponents, and they went down to the wayside, just like Ponce did. And when Ponce, as more and more as Ponce went on, then there you go. There you go. He started slowing down, and of course, he started that right eye, as you saw, was not red. It was blue and purple. That's what color it was, and then he started pretty much putting on a will and willing. And you know what? And he pretty much got knocked down. And then there go Matisse. Matisse was still right there, and I was like, man, he taking a lot of shots, but they were punches off the gloves.
There you go, facts.
Yeah, they were punches off the glove. And and that's why it's important to keep that high guard up in a certain style of fighting, and that's what he did. He kept it, and they was coming off the gloves, and Matisse, he finally got the chance to bring down that high guard, and then wham, and there he go. Then with Ponce, he came back, not too much onslaught for him. He never did get out the corner, so he quit on the stool. He said his team know him better than he know himself. So he wanted to fight, but his team said no. But of course, I don't think he wanted to go back out there. So but I think the body shots was a big, like Xena 360, he pointed out that a lot of Matisse opponents always get hurt at the body and they always get stopped at the body. So because I haven't seen too much of Matisse, so
Oh, you hadn't seen too much of him? Monster.
No, yeah, only seen him one time. Now I've seen him fight before, but only one time. But yeah, he was great then, and he was great last night. So he deserved that IBF title last night. So, but that's the gist of it, because it was a rock'em sock'em time last night. No filling out round, and I really believe that Ponce. I mean, everybody in the chat wish he would have won at least one more round. Cause I mean, we was enjoying that damn fight, right?
Yeah, bro, you fighting for a world title. I'll talk on it when it's my turn. But
but I'm just saying, I'm almost finished, but I just wanted him to go at least one, maybe two more rounds. I mean, I enjoyed it, and they were throwing leather, and I just like that type of fighting sometimes. And sometimes the beautiful, sweet science is beautiful too. But one thing about it, I just enjoyed that fight. And I think Ponce was trying to jump on him before he got going into the later rounds, because he knew what probably going to happen in the later rounds. So that's why he went right out there and just attacked Matisse. So, but that's all I have on that. That's all I have. That's
all right. You want to catch your super chat? Go ahead and catch your
super chat. Oh yeah. Sean Clark in the super chat once again. He said Ponce tried to force the pace, but Matisse was more comfortable fighting that pace. Yes, yes, he was. Exactly. Sean. Yep. And I appreciate
to me, y'all, and y'all might disagree. I believe people do shit that they ain't never did before when they are scared. And I think Ponce came out and threw 100 and some punches in the first round because he was scared, man. Like he ain't never did that shit before ever in any fight I've ever seen him fight in, bro. He knew what he was up against, and he went out there like, man, I gotta let him know that I'm not a hoe. I gotta let him know that I am not gonna go nowhere. But where he messed up was that the homie Matias, number one, his defense done got way better. Like, he catches shots off his gloves way better. He with shots a lot better, and he stayed calm. And yeah, Ponce hit him with some shots, but shit, he was just in that hole, just like chilling, like calm, cool, collected. And then after that first round was over with, and Ponce saw that he wasn't going nowhere, that shit could be deflating because he know he threw everything he had at him. Like you said, he was throwing off the top of his head. He was throwing combinations you ain't seen before. The shit looked like somebody's like, man, I'm finna go out here and I'm fighting for my life. I'm finna let him give him everything I got. Yep. If I'm gonna go out swinging. Like, that's the type of shit that he seemed like he was on, bro.
Get off of me.
Yeah, get off me with man. And then Subriel Matias and to Sean Clark super chat that he just dropped you, the one that you just read, bro. Let me tell the whole 140-pound division something, man, in case y'all don't know. You not finna outpace and outwork Matias, so please stop. Don't try that shit. Do nobody else come in with the Ponce game, bro. Because if you do that shit and you don't hurt him, you only making the fight be over with quickly, man. It's only gonna end even worse for you. And Matias, man, with that hand speed and the power and the way that he can fight on the inside and his newfound ability to catch and shoot and roll with shots better, bro, for in that fight. He didn't take as much punishment as I thought he would take to that knockout. And the way that he switches levels with his hook, his left hook is like, do not throw a left hook with him. Like, even if you think you got a good left hook, take that shit out your arsenal because he is going to get there first 100% of the time, bro. Like, if you try to throw a left hook with him, I don't care how good your hook is at 140 pounds, his shit going to get there first. Hell, his hand so fast, he might throw one to the body and one to the head before yours get there, bro. He nasty with that shit, man. He is really, really nasty with it. And so he put on a great performance. And like you said, though, I just wish Ponce would have came out for rounds. He claimed that he wanted to come out the corner, but I ain't see him. He ain't hit his trainer hand away or nothing. He didn't even try to get up off the stool and act like he wanted to fight. He just sat right there with that ice on his back, with his trainer rubbing on his eye, and he ain't try to move, man. Like, he knew what was coming, bro. It's certain fighters that you can't get hurt against, get compromised against, because you know that shit is over with. And I think kind of how remember Hector Luis Garcia when he didn't come out the corner against Tank Davis, he was like, I wanted to continue, but he had that same shit. He didn't try to get up. He didn't try to argue with nobody. He just sat there talking about how he couldn't see and shit. And I think Matias did that same thing. to what you call it, Ponce. And I want to give Matias credit for like, because I didn't even know Ponce was hurt, but he was in there with him. He had a good ring IQ, and he saw that he was hurt. I couldn't tell that he was hurt. He saw that he was hurt like that and jumped on him at the end of the sixth. And Ponce no more, bro. He said no mas, like he was Duran or some shit, bro. And it was all bad. And so Matias, man, is now IBF world champion, and he is a problem. I heard somebody say something about Gary Antoine Russell. No, don't do that to that young man. Now I watched the fight. I love to watch the fight, but don't, young man, bro. Do not do that to him, bro. We do not need the Russells to be worried about, you know what I'm saying, the health of Gary Antoine Russell. Now I want to ask you this, because Matias said something in the ring after the fight, OG.
Okay.
He said something in the ring after the fight. He said, did what he said. Matias said, Regis Prograis, now it's your turn. I am the new world champion, and I promise you that I will hurt you. Prograis likes to talk a lot about how he hurts his opponents, but I have that same mentality. We'll see who prevails, but I want him to know that there are crazier people in this sport. Regis Prograis energy changed a little bit. He says, congratulations, champ. I hope to see you one day. What do you think of that, man? Matias say he want that smoke and he want it now, bro.
Man, you know, he sound like a guy that's confident. He sound like a guy that he knows what he can do. He knows what you can do. And he knows that he's a better fighter than you. And he knows what he does work. And yes, he is challenging everybody and anybody. He is confident right now. And everything he's doing, it's working. It is working. Now, I'm not saying it's working like a certain round, but he eventually come out on top, no matter how the fight is going. Now, he making all the right decisions. He's making all the right, throwing all the right punches, and he's good at it. He's good at it. And right now, he's an IBF champion, and he is calling out the best of the best. And that's the way it's supposed to be. The best should be fighting the best. Now, let's put your talent against his, and let's see who all come out the top. That's a good fight. And I like a confident fighter. You know, talk your smack. You know, talk your smack, man. If you are confident in yourself, if you are a dog, which I have already witnessed that, and you are a dog, and you're going to go in there and do the same thing like you did last night. Now, remember, Ponce, like you said, he never did that before.
Never.
Right. So, of course, you got a team Matisse like expecting something different. Now, there's another attribute. He know how to make adjustments. He know how to make adjustments, and that's what he did last night. He made adjustments. Of course, the pace, as I think Sean said, that the pace that he fought at was a great pace for him. Okay, Mr. Ponce, shoot your shot, shoot your load. I'm gonna hold up this high guard and let you go ahead and hit the gloves and do what you're gonna do. And now, I'm gonna bring my gloves now, and I'm gonna hit you and bring them back up. Hit you again, bring them back up, bring them down, bring them up, bring them down. And that's what he did. And then until Ponce couldn't just take no more. You know, so that's a smart fighter, a confident fighter, a fighter that knows that he can be champion and he will be champion. You know, you got to, he just right now, he just ready for the smoke. And I don't blame him, you know. So he already proved that. So
yeah, man, for me, man, I think Matias already got a leg up because he calling for the smoke right now. He's talking about one day. Why not next?
Yeah.
Why not next, Reggie? What you got going on? You got somebody, you got a fight lined up already? Jose Ramirez, he ain't want no smoke. You having a hard time getting your mandatories to fight you. What's up with you? What's up with you and Matias, bro? I be telling y'all, man, this selective call outs and shit, man. That's why guys like Shakur Stevenson, bro. That's why guys like Devin Haney, like, I respect them because at least they be like, you know what I'm saying? They call kind of for the smoke for everybody. They don't pick and choose and shit. And if you pull their card, they gonna say something back to you, and the energy ain't gonna change up too much. But Regis Prograis, bro, I'm looking at you like, what you mean you want to see him? He said he want to see you now, bro. What are you talking about? One day, like, Like, nah, we need that fight to be next, bro. Like, ain't nothing in the
Right.
way of that. Matias
Right.
ain't got shit going on. You ain't got shit going on. You done fought on
Yeah.
PBC before. And I'm telling y'all right now, bro, Matias is a problem for that man Regis Prograis, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the styles and shit. And then you can just see by the attitude, Matias is like, bro, he like Baturbiev at 140, bro. Like he different. I'm telling, it's something about the way the hand speed mixed with the power and the way that he fight, where he always is able to find his way on the inside and make you fight his fight. He's able to do that, bro.
Right.
The way that he's able to do that, it is a problem. It is going to take a special fighter to beat him at 140 pounds right now. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I don't know who that guy is just yet, man. Maybe it's one of these 135-pound masterclass that ain't made it to 140 just yet. Because the
Right.
guys at 140 pounds, like, just really like put the styles together. Y'all think it's Josh Taylor? Y'all think Josh Taylor got something for Matias if they get in there and get the dog fighting and shit, man? Come on, bro.
No.
Shit, like, bro. The only one is Regis, but what if Regis hit him clean and Matias just smile and keep coming? Then what? Then what we gonna do? Yeah, Matias is nasty. I disagree, Teach. I thought if you go back and watch the fight, I thought Matias' defense looked way better last night than I've seen it look. I thought he was catching shots well, rolling with some shots, getting his head off the line when he needed to, and countering and I thought his catch and shoot game last night. Maybe I didn't see it right. Maybe you didn't see it right, but I tell you what, I'm gonna watch that shit over because it was exciting to watch. That's for damn sure. So shout out to Matias, man. Shout out to Ponce for giving us a good fight. And Matias is now world champion in the IBF, and he has knocked out every fighter that he has ever. Not a lot of people can say that, man. Last little bit, KQ, before we get out of here, man. One last
Okay,
story.
let me get this super chat real fast. Mr. Mine, in that super chat, he said you got almost a 5-inch reach advantage, and you don't use it. No jab or anything technical at all. He could have at least attempted to box. Okay, okay. He talking about Ponce, I assume. But Ponce went there, he just had a different game plan. He had a different game plan. So, but like I said, Matisse made some adjustments, and it paid off for him. And that, like I said, and that's another thing. Ring IQ. He has a great ring IQ. I like to see more, but hopefully we will see more. Now, this is a problem, KO, real fast.
Yeah.
Would these guys be scared to fight him at at his 140?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because that the type of fights you have to fight, and and against him, that if he gets you to fight that fight, then you're not gonna win, bro. And not only are you not gonna win, he beat like fighters that beat you into submission. People don't like to fight them because not only do they beat you into submission, they can take years off your career, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, we gotta see what Ponce is looking like, right? The last guy that he fought, Ananya, that he knocked out and beat up and brutalized, he ain't fought since, bro. So he has that career ending, career shortening type of beat your ass down style that dudes just don't tend to have a quickness to want to get in the ring with, bro. Dude, you can listen to Regis talk about Tank Davis. Look at how he talk about Tank Davis. Look at how bad he wanted Josh Taylor rematch. Look at how he talk about Jose, and then look at his response to Subriel Matias. That tells you everything you need to know right there. Like, if you look at how he talk about them and how he want them and how they can be next and shit, and then his response to somebody actually letting him know, I want to fight you next in Matias, that shit changed up real quick.
Yeah.
That shit changed up real quick, man. So last thing I want to talk about, man, looks like Devin Haney and Lomachenko is very, very official, because Devin Haney came out and said stay tuned for May 20th. Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko is going to be a very tactical fight. Chess. It could very well be a very entertaining fight due to the style clash. I just Can't wait. I gotta ask you something because I've been thinking about this, man.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta bring my Tank Davis fandom in here just a little bit and see what the chat is thinking. I want the chat to answer too, and I want you to answer it, KQ. They on different days, right? But my question for you, Javante Tank and Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, they own at the exact same time.
Whoa.
You only got one TV, OG. You only got one TV. You ain't got no other phone you can watch. You can't do both of them. You got one TV. Which fight you watching, man? Which one you tuning into, bro? And chat, I want to know what y'all watching too, man. What you doing, man?
I would say Javante Davis. Yes, I would watch Javante Davis because he's exciting. He's not boring. You're always in suspense. You don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know if he's going to get the knockout. I mean, we already seen that. We already witnessed that. Everybody anticipating something special is going to happen. People don't want to look away because they're scared they're going to miss something. So Javante Davis is, like I say, he has a ring IQ. He's going to box. He's going to come on the back foot. He's going to set traps. He's going to fight at mid-range. He's going to pretty much come and open up as you open up. Those things versus watching Devin. Some people say, he's a little bit boring, but sometimes he pick it up. He's going to use that left hand. He's going to use his jab. And then, of course, he's going to use his fast feet. And then, of course, does he fight on the inside? Yes, he does. Very well. No, he doesn't. What would you take? You would take the guy with the most attributes? You would take the guy that's most exciting? Or you would take the guy that's, well, I'll take it or leave it. Which one would you do? And I would take Javante Davis. I would say, hey, look, I'm going to watch Javante Davis. And then I have to watch Devin Haney on the rerun.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm doing the same thing you do, except for I'm gonna still buy the Devin Haney and Loma fight. I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna turn off all my Twitter notifications, my ESPN notifications. I ain't looking at my phone for no text messages, no phone calls. And then after I get Tank and Ryan, I'm gonna watch Devin versus Loma like I never seen it before, because I ain't letting nobody mess it up for me. I ain't answering no phones, none of that shit. I'm gonna make sure I get both of them in that night. But as far as watching them live, I'm watching Tank versus Ryan live. And then I'm gonna watch Devin and Haney as soon as I get done. Devin Haney and Loma as soon as I get done with that. But I'm gonna make sure I ain't got no notifications on, so I don't know who won the fight or what's happening in the fight or no shit like that. And watch it, you know what I'm saying? So I can watch it right after I get done with Tank versus Ryan. But both of them fights is getting watched that night. Best for damn show. Believe that. You know what I'm talking about?
And don't forget, Boost was added on to that card too now.
Boots and Williams Zepeda. Yeah. I don't know who they fighting yet. I hope. Man, this would just be too much. I hope it's William Zepeda and Frank Martin. Man, I'd be in heaven. I think Jerron Ennis is gonna be he gonna be in there with the guy that beat Rashidi El Roman Villa. I think that's who they got Boots fighting probably is what the reports are. But I think that William Zepeda, they don't know his opponent yet, but I'm hoping it's a PBC 135 pounder. And man, I would love for it to be Frank Martin, or they may try to Michelle Rivera to him. I don't know. I want to see who that is, but I really hope it's Frank the Ghost Martin. Man, that would be lit, because he's been training real hard lately. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Frank Martin been training like he knows some shit that you and I don't know. So if it's Frank Martin and Williams Zepeda, bro, that's must see TV right there. I'm telling y'all that right now, man. But that's all we got for y'all, man. It's 10:30. OG, man. Let me just say this real quick, man. Y'all, we supposed to have 3 debates this week, right? I got 2 for sure. Now I got Monday night BFTB versus Terrence Best Videos. Wednesday got Upper Echelon versus Ben Israel. And then the dude said that he want a dude named Green. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all see him in the chat, tell him I'm waiting on him. He said he want to debate me. So hopefully I can make my return to the ring on Thursday night.
All right.
I asked him to pick the questions. I'm waiting on him to send me the questions, because I don't want no excuses. He want to debate me. I said, cool. Just send me whatever questions you want you can do. Or if he just shows up Thursday, we will have a debate. But if he send me the questions and lock it in, I'll announce that debate officially. I know for sure I got 2 debates that we doing this week, Monday and Wednesday night. So y'all be sure to tune in for those. We'll be live at 7:30 Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I'll be dropping content to y'all daily. Sure to y'all be sure to check out the content that we drop. And that's all I got, OG, man. Another great show, another great morning show, man.
Hey man, hey, I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Y'all know, KQKC, I will be live Monday through Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time. And keep in mind, I will be doing the pay-per-view giveaway. All right, you have to be a channel member in order to get into that giveaway, and that's going to be for the Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia fight. And also, if a fight is named like the Earl Spence and Keith Thurman fight, I would be giving away that pay-per-view also. All right, but only to the channel members. All right, so with that, that's all I got. I thank everybody for coming in last night. I thank everybody for coming in this morning. All right, and thank you all, and we'll see you all this week, baby, because we got another fight next week. All right, so make sure y'all tune in to me and Knockout tomorrow. All right, 11 o'clock a.m. and 7:30 p.m. And with that, that's all we got. And y'all have a
peace out, y'all. Y'all have a good Sunday, man.
Yes, sir. All right. Peace out. We out of here.